Hey folks, this is Ben Gessel. How's it going? Trying a different angle here on my phone for this video, and just about to watch some Taking a Pelham 123. Maybe, maybe not. So usually I don't make videos uh, like I'm about to make, but I thought maybe because of everything that's going on in my life, you guys might be it might be a good thing to actually say some of these things that are going on. So this is kind of a first for me in a way. Usually, usually, on some remote level, my parents have helped me in the past. In some, or just they've come to my concerts or whatever. Right now, because my dad has pancreatitis and is still recovering from that, there's operations going on and things. And right now, we can't visit him. My family and my mom, we can't visit him in the hospital because of coronavirus. So my mom is stressing out about that, and she's stressing out about the hospital bills, which there shouldn't be any because they have insurance, but there's this crazy bill she got for a whole bunch of money that should have been taken care of by insurance. But my dad usually takes care of this stuff, and so because my dad's the one that's in the hospital, he can't do this. So who's gonna help in this regard? So I'm wondering if my uncles can, or if my dad has people that can help my mom in this case. I have no idea. That's just the first of many things that are going on right now. I've been trying to organize a concert where my own music, one of my composition students' music, and other composers' music can be performed by a small group. But because literally every single performing arts group right now, vast majority of them, are canceling concerts and canceling rehearsals and things, I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen when our original date was planned for. I don't, maybe in a few months after that, but there's just no telling when the coronavirus is going to go away. So I made an angry video today about the coronavirus. I wasn't joking, and my anger was definitely justified toward the Chinese government. They have caused more ruin than they possibly can possibly imagine. It's impossible to calculate how much ruin this is going to be for not only them but for everyone else. Let me repeat that. It is impossible to calculate how much ruin this coronavirus is going to cause, not only to China, their own country, but to everyone else. Because of their own mismanagement of their country, because I mentioned before, this is a totalitarian government. It might be capitalist in a business sense, but it's still totalitarian. It's still communist. No government has been successfully only communist. It's always been totalitarian, where the government takes over everything. And if they take over everything, they have responsibility for everything. You have to have, if you're going to have one, you're going to have the other. The government is responsible. The Chinese government is responsible for this happening. And see how it affects to everything else? It has affected everything else. It's like this chain reaction. And how do you not how do you not let it affect you? Well, I don't know. On some, it's going to affect everyone some way. The only way to combat it is by not despairing, by not just, you have to bounce back and you have to say, I'm still alive. You have to say, I can do this. I can do this today. I can do this the next day. I can do this the next day. And you move on. And that's the only way you can combat something like this, unless you're going to die. And then at that point, you're still going to say, I'm going to move on after this life. On top of that, there's other things that we're going to be doing soon, like taxes. I have to postpone them. There's too many things going on. There's this expensive piano repair I had, and then some people think I have all the time in the world for writing music and for doing YouTube videos. No, I don't. I don't. That's an easy one to say. I don't. I there's a lot of things that I would wanting to do right now, but I can't. Or it's just, some things are more long term in this regard. Some things are short term, shorter term in terms of things that have been hard and have come my way. I didn't choose them. It's just interesting that a lot of people out there think that there's a lot of assumptions about people online, and we all, on some level, make those assumptions about other people. But I can tell you right now, just right off the bat, there are people I've come across YouTube that whenever you meet someone on YouTube that just assumes all this crap about you that is or is not true, or it's like partially true. It's usually partially, or usually not true, right? Or they just assume that you have all the time in the world to do whatever, and you have the most expensive equipment to make these videos. And why make these cheap little videos, or why? I don't know. And then I respond back by saying, "Oh yeah, I have a actually I forgot to mention, I'm actually getting these grants and these loans from Bill Gates and from the government and from all these wealthy billionaires to actually get new equipment, and we have a sound studio, and we do a lot of our stuff, and it's all paid for, and gosh, I just have been so lazy I haven't used any of that equipment yet." Right? I don't know what, I honestly don't know what some people are expecting from me or from anyone else on YouTube when you make a video. I honestly don't know what they are expecting. Are they expecting? No, I'm actually a really good storyteller, by the way. I can tell good stories. I really can. I don't know if that's you. I honestly don't know if that's what you guys are interested in watching until I get feedback from that. Like, I can try that, when I get around to it, because there's a lot of things I have to be doing, right? But yeah. But the thing is, if I make a nice, awesome story and I tell it for you guys online, I have no idea how many people watch it. I have no idea how worthwhile it is. If it's going to take hours and hours to make the story, and it takes another half hour to tell it, and you guys already don't really watch my longer videos, then what's the point? But if I get some feedback saying we'll definitely watch it, I might make some more story videos, or at least some short stories. But then what's the point of a short story if it's not really much to it? So I don't know. You have to. It's just there's all these different ideas that we all have as YouTube creators. But what I'm trying to say is I'm dealing with a lot of crap right now still. I really am. It's because my parents, my dad's in the hospital again. My mom is swamped with taking care of my dad still. She's in take care of my dad mode. She doesn't have the emotional means to talk to me about other stuff. She can't. I shouldn't expect that from her. I don't. I am my own man. I do my own stuff. And whatever happens, happens to me. It's my own whatever, My parents have always supported me without me even asking them. And so now I have to say, okay, yeah. So, maybe I have some uncles in the area that can come to this concert. I may have to postpone the concert because of the coronavirus, but I have to email all these musicians back. I have to talk to composers. I have to work out more details with the concert. And I don't even know if, no offense, it's okay if you guys don't know this. Easily half of my subscribers or more don't know what goes into organizing a composer's concert. And that's okay, because you guys aren't musicians, and that's okay. But it's very, 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 very frustrating. And then, I've even heard this wacky thing. So my landlord's, got relatives in Utah, and he tried to visit them in Utah. He can't even visit them. They told him they just don't, they wanted to see him, but they're not worried about getting coronavirus from him. He doesn't have coronavirus. I would know if he did. And if he did have coronavirus, I would have it myself. My landlord still works at Home Depot. He's an older guy, but he's been really a very dependable worker there. He's worked there for a long, long time. But he works for the general public. And the general public, I don't know, it's just in the kind of North Bothell area. And, Bothell isn't exactly right next to Kirkland, which is the epicenter of Seattle. It started in Kirkland and went to Seattle, but spread out from there. But, it's not too far away from Kirkland, And so, I'm just thinking his relatives' fears are unfounded, and he's bummed out, and so then I'm dealing with it, with trying to help him feel better. And I'm like, what the heck, man? I believe in God, but some people in my situation would have a hard time believing God, especially if things got worse. I don't know how my mom is worried my dad's going to die. He's not going to die. We had so many things go right. He's going to be fine. The frustrating thing is we can't see him right now. And as mentioned before, I don't know if I mentioned it already, University of Washington Medical Center won't let people in right now because of coronavirus. So, and I didn't even know that was happening. I didn't know we couldn't go in yet until, there's all these messages that my family's been doing, and I haven't even been able to read them all because I've been teaching music lessons, or I've been not, I haven't seen everything on my phone. So I don't know if you guys, and that's okay. It's okay. We don't always know these things about other people. We don't know all these things about other people. We're subscribed to. But I thought I'd mention this stuff because, and then there's other things I'm not even mentioning. I have to go through a lot of crap still. There's still more things I need to be doing that are not fun. So there's only so many. How can I put this? If I get crap from people online, I can think of one of 2 or 3 ways, really. One way, of course, is I have all this crap that I'm dealing with already. What did I do to deserve this additional stuff? What did I do? What the heck is going on here? Second reaction is, oh, big whoop, delete it all. Don't even think about it. And the third thing is try to be even more Christ-like and say, I am sorry you feel that way. I'm feeling kind of down as well. Maybe I can help you. Or something like that. Something more positive. The fact of the matter is, folks, it's not like I have everything going right for me right now. It's not like really. And there's a lot of things that haven't gone right for me at all for a long, long time. Like some things that you would expect to be a very big part of life. That's a good thing. I don't have all the good things that a lot of other people have, but then they probably don't have some of the good things I have. But it's not like Don't have any illusions or misconceptions about what you think is easier about my life, or what. Don't even go there. Don't. Even if I grew up upper middle class, I definitely am lower middle class right now. I am not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a musician. Many musicians are not very wealthy, especially if they're classical musicians. If they're pop musicians, also many of them are not very well off as well. There's a lot of people that are still not very well off. It doesn't matter how low the unemployment rate is right now. It's still not really prospering. Americans are still not as prosperous as you might think. And most people aren't. You think people in China are prosperous? Yeah, compared to maybe the past, so they're still not making very much. Most people just don't have very much. And the people that have a lot of wealth and money continue to have more. That's the way things are right now in the world. I am not one of these wealthy people. The house that I live in is not mine. I'm renting a room. Does this place look like it's a mansion? I have music students. I personally have music students that are either upper middle class or wealthy. Let me say this again. And I also in the past and in the present, I have taught people that are upper middle class or wealthy. Now, how have I treated these people? And also people that just don't seem like they have very much stress in their life. Things are going right. Have I been envious of them? Have I tried to do any comparisons with them? No, I haven't. I've tried to be professional. I've tried to be kind and friendly and considerate. I haven't even mentioned their income or how big their house is or any of that crap. Not even once. But let me repeat. I've taught some very wealthy people, as well as some very famous people, as well as some very powerful people in government. And more the wow types of students. Oh yeah, I'm not kidding. I've taught all kinds of people. I've taught people from all different countries, cultures, religions, races, socioeconomic backgrounds, everybody. People that don't even have the money to pay me for lessons, all the way to people that have 7 or 8 figure incomes. I don't know, just unheard of amounts of money, probably. You know, I don't talk about that crap, but I very well could have. Do you know how many people that I went to college with, at least, especially Central Washington, but other places, that, do you know how many people, I had a landlord that talked about how wealthy one of my students was. I didn't even give it a second's thought, other than, oh, they have a nice place. Yeah. I had a supposed friend in college who would talk endlessly about how wealthy Bill Gates was and about houses and big houses and all this crap. You know, and then the same guy writes me off for saying he thinks I said some dumb, stupid thing that he even misunderstood me. And not only with those two, because, one of them's a member of my church, the other one's not. I've heard just the most ridiculous, judgmental crap from a lot of people I've known in real life that I couldn't even feel remotely comfortable talking about any of that stuff with any of my students. I mean, if I were to act like that, and the reason I mention all this stuff also is, it's kind of like, I think what it is for one thing, it's important that you guys know what 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 tends to be more stressful in my life, or what I tend to be more stressed out about, or what I tend to put more stock in. And we can actually say that for a different video. That would be a good topic, actually. What things do I really care about more? What things do I worry about more? What things do I care about more? I've been watching a lot of this Buddhist monk guy from Vietnam, because it was a ASMR thing initially, but those ASMR things are really goofy and weird anyway. It's basically relaxing, but it's this guy. He was originally from Vietnam. I think he's over in Massachusetts right now. He's a master. He wears the brown robes, Buddhist monk guy, and I've been watching some of this stuff. He talks about, well, if you have to have peace, you're detached from everything. You could be dirt poor. That's okay. All you need is food. We don't believe in marriage, which is different than in my church, but it's like you want to just, if you can become detached from everything, then, you'll be at peace. And we tend to be a little different as Mormons, but the Buddhists always make a lot of sense to me. They always make a lot of sense, but it's the hang up is, so what's our relationship to other people, and the whole family thing and marriage and things, and also, how much, when you care about someone and that person dies, and it's really, really hard to go through, and did you need to go through all that in the first place? And yes, but we have to be able to give up everything, sacrifice everything, or there's that whole train of thought, right? That gets really deep, and I'm not officially Buddhist, so I welcome Buddhists that would respond to this train of thought. But regardless of all that stuff, regardless of whatever, the main thing is feeling like you need to, a person not to feel like things are going to work out for the best, and if they don't, if you end up dying, or if you end up being homeless or whatever, you have people that love you and can support you, can help you, and we're all going to we're all in this together, and we're going to do our best, and we're all going to support each other the best we can with family and friends and that sort of thing. And if you don't have any friends or family, if you can't support each other, then at least you can all be homeless together and stick together, or you can, it's that train of thought, right? And what's the worst that can happen? You all die, and then you go to heaven, or you go to hell. And you only go to hell if you're, well, that's another whole train of thought too, but it's like, are you a heavenly person, or are you a hellish person, or are you somewhere in between? And are you willing to change or for the better? Okay, so it's just a matter of keeping positive about life, about not giving up, right? And when you're going through a lot of crap, you can feel like you just have all these burdens, right? And you're carrying around all these burdens, and you don't want to carry around burdens, And there's that whole Christian side of this, believe me, with Christ and all this stuff. But and there's just like, how much can you handle at once, and just psychologically and stuff, emotionally. And no, it's a very bad idea to burden someone who doesn't. You don't never want to burden someone. You want to lift someone's burdens. And if you feel like a burden, that can be a miserable feeling too. A burden, and nobody wants to be a burden. So we all want to be self-sufficient. And if we're not self-sufficient financially or whatever, we're not self-sufficient in other ways, we should try to be self-sufficient. And I guess you guys are getting a bit of a spiritual discussion, which I didn't really want to get into too much. But I think what I'm going to try to get back to here is, I got my own stuff I'm dealing with, even if it's not as major or as bleak as some other folks out there. But nonetheless, they are still issues. One of the big issues is choosing classical music on some level as a part of your career, and whoever does that, unless they really are, they got the right college position, they got plenty of other stuff going on, making enough money to make it. Most of us are not in that position, so it's hard. And you have to be nice to everybody. You have to smile. You have to be courteous. You have to be considerate. You can't talk about your own problems with people you teach, unless you know them very well and they know you very well, and you guys are kind of like friends, and it's the parents in this case. And many of us don't have a whole lot of people that we're talking about stuff with. More or less we do, but some of us don't. And however many people there are, however many people we have that we can talk to about this stuff, so this is a very important thing in life. And many of us don't realize that we all need people we can talk to about stuff. And some people that we're very close to, we can't always talk to because they have so much stuff they're going through already as it is. Like my own parents right now. I can't talk to my mom and dad about a lot of stuff because they're going whatever they're going through. Or at least I feel like I can't talk to my mom about this stuff. And my dad can't talk anyway because he's recovering from pancreatitis. So who am I going to talk to? Talk to, about the heavy stuff, right? Being a single guy, I'm not married. So, again, there's all these things that you guys don't know until you know. And so again, when I get these crappy responses, I can respond to them by saying, just delete, don't care, right? Or I can say, screw you, you got a lot of crap you're dealing with. You're just voicing it on me. The heck with that. I get a lot of crap too. Or I can try doing this Christ-like thing. But honestly, sometimes I just don't feel like being this Mr. Christ-like guy. Because one of the reasons I feel this way is, unless you have Down syndrome, or you really are limited mentally, or you really are very troubled emotionally, and you really don't have the facilities emotionally to properly understand someone else online. There are people like that, and I should give them. I should. You want to treat them a little differently. They're not. They're dealing with so much crap that they can't really. Yeah. So, and that's fine and good. That's a different situation. Whatever. Some people just don't have as much. They don't have as much facilities at the moment to. Anyway, and some people just flat out just don't get it. I mean, but unless you have some kind of limitation that way, real limitation, I have to wonder why people act that way still on YouTube. But just the dumbest stuff. And they assume that everybody they talk to is just, has everything and everything is right with them. And they have endless resources and endless time to produce anything that they want to see. And, it's like, so the viewer is like let me kind of go a little train of thought here. It's like the viewer on YouTube is the customer, right? But none of us, let's be honest, none of us are really paying any money for this stuff unless outside of the internet connection and outside of, because YouTube is free. We watch, gradually watch these ads or we get YouTube Premium, whatever it is. And then some channels, they're supported by Patreon accounts or they're, I don't know, all these different things going on, sure. But for the most part, YouTube is still free. And so, even so, the average YouTube viewer sees themselves as the customer, right? So if they like a video, they can watch it. If they don't like a video, they cannot watch it. You can thumbs up or thumbs down any video you want to. It's great for the viewer. It's great for the person who's creating things as well, although a lot of times the person who's creating videos doesn't really know what people want to see. They know what they want to make, so they'll, like myself, I'll know what I want to make. But if I don't ever get any feedback about what other people want, I could never know which one to go with of all the things I want to do. But that's beside the point. I mean, people sometimes just don't really want to get involved with a lot of comments and things, and that's okay too. But it's just, again, it's like, when you're talking to somebody on YouTube, online, when they actually take a step back and they go, oh, huh, that's what this person's really like, or this person actually is dealing with this stuff, or this person isn't making very many videos right now because they're going through this stuff. And by the way, somebody that I consider to be different than me in terms of how he speaks on YouTube is very similar to me in other respect. So I'm talking about Matthew Santoro, who has a ton of people that subscribe to him. He has all these flashy colors. He does all these flashy videos. He's really big into all the things, the production, right? And so he makes all these really awesome videos that everybody likes. But the thing is also is that he has some videos where he speaks from the heart. And you can say he's kind of being a little bit, he's acting. But no, he's really actually being sincere. He has some very heartfelt, sincere videos that I won't go into right now. But I've asked myself, and I mentioned this before in an earlier video, by the way. I've asked myself, why would Matthew Santoro go into all this depth about all this stuff that nobody really needs to know about his own, private life, social life, whatever, dating and girlfriends or whatever. I don't know. Why would he get into all that? Why would he get so emotional? Because I've gotten a little bit emotional, but usually when you guys hear me get emotional, it's sometimes get a little bit angry, but I can also be plenty of other moods as well. I probably need to make some scary videos these days and get scared, But I tried going outside, by the way, tonight, and it was freezing. So I'm not going to try doing that until it gets warmer. Sorry, man. Well, Western Washington is still very cold, but no. But I've asked myself, why would Matthew Santoro do that? Where everybody seems to be praising another one of the guys I watch stuff. There's another guy. It's the angry video game nerd, right? It's James Rolfe. People say, "Oh, James Rolfe. He never talks about anything personal. He has the right idea. He never talks about his own politics. He never talks about anything that is about his own life too much. Never mentions anybody like that. It's all just video games and movies, and or whatever, but mainly video games and these reviews and stuff. And he has the ideal YouTube, channel, right? Well, so if James himself is ever going to watch this video, or Matthew Santoro, they might be chuckling a bit at this point. They might be laughing a little bit because they know what I'm inferring here a little bit. What I'm inferring is there is no ideal YouTube video. No, there isn't. Is it how many views you're getting? Is it how much money you're making? No. Is it the amount of content to substance that you're talking about or presenting? It's a little bit of a judgment call. It's a qualitative thing. There is no ideal way of making YouTube video. You can present your life in its fullest. You can present little bits of your life. You can talk purely about a subject that you're interested in, and only that subject. And have presentations, have do it yourself, fix it type things, whatever it is. It doesn't. It's totally. There is no best. So you can get personal or not. You can be a James Rolfe. You can be Matthew Santoro. That's also very impeccable of speech. Talks kind of quickly, but you can still understand everything he's saying, and wears his heart in his sleeve. Or you can be like me. You can wear your heart in your sleeve in some respects, but maybe not be quite as punchy and as good as enunciating everything. But you see what I mean, right? And you could be funny. You could be not even yourself. You could be a clown. You could be an entertainer. You could be a PewDiePie. Doesn't matter. Anyway, to sum this up a little bit, yes, there's a lot of crap I'm going through right now. If you don't see videos from me for a while, you'll know why. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be frustrating. Some things are very, very frustrating. Some things are very, very trying. And I'm going to do my best in my own life and try to be a good YouTuber when I can. All right. Talk to you guys later. Take care. I'll leave in thoughts, comments below. Catch you later. Bye.